guys, welcome back to another video. So I've been on a roll recently with my videos. I can't lie, I'm actually so proud of myself because I've sat in front of the camera every other day and I filmed and edited a video for you guys. A round of applause for me because I struggled to do this. Like, I love making videos and I always want to do it, but I just can't get around to doing it. But I've been consistent. Anyway, as you read from the title, this video is all about how do I self-actualize. I'm talking as someone who's about to graduate with a psychology degree, and my favourite aspect from everything that I've studied is positive psychology. Positive psychology is truly transformative. It was first pioneered by Martin Seligman. So what is positive psychology? The way I interpret it is that it's about focusing on the good and the ways to better our mental health and our physical health and every aspect of our well-being to be able to grow and to be able to become the best version of ourselves. That's the most important thing. So imagine like we're here, but how do we get there? How do we reach like the top to become like the best possible version of ourselves ever, living in our desired reality? That's what positive psychology is all about. It's about getting who you are and squeezing out every single ounce of like juice that you have to get your maximum potential. Imagine you're like a grape, right? But you're not just a grape sitting in a vineyard. You're like squeezed out till you make the finest wine. Do you know what I mean? That was such a bad example. So let's start off by talking about Abraham Maslow. He basically created the idea of having a hierarchy of needs. And these are needs that all humans need in their life. Oh my god, a giant bee came to the window and tapped the window as if it's about to come in. It's still trying to come in, but it doesn't realise that the window is glass. Anyway, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this is what it looks like. It's a triangle, and it has 5 subsections in it. It's got the bottom one, the orange one, the middle one, the almost top one, and the right at the top one, which is self-actualization. So, what is this? I'm going to explain exactly what this is to you in my own words. You start off at the bottom pretty much, and then you move up till you get right to the top, which is self-actualizing. And that is basically when you've literally unlocked the best version of yourself ever. You're living your desired reality, you're living as your desired version of yourself. So, the way that you get there is because you have to think of it like this. Every single level has a door, and once you've unlocked it, you level up to the next level. Once you've unlocked that one, you level up to the next level. But so long as you haven't unlocked that door, you're stuck there. And if you're stuck there, you can't move up. And if you can't move up, you can't self-actualize right at the top. So that's how the hierarchy of needs works. And these are needs that are in all of us humans that we all pretty much need. And if we don't have these needs met, we can't self-actualize. Right at the bottom is basic needs, like basic things that we need as human beings to survive and to thrive. Food, water, the ability to like physically use our body to eat and to excrete and like things like that, basically. And that's like the most basic things that we literally need to survive. And without that, we would like be dead, pretty much. Once you have those needs met, you know, like the physical needs to actually have a living body, then you move up to safety needs. So safety needs is the second one. And safety needs is like, do you feel safe? Do you have like a physical safe space, safe house, but also do you feel safe in your resources, in your employment, in your abilities, in your job, education, whatever it is, a level of safety, a level of security. That's what it is, security. So once you have this perceived level of security within whatever it is, within family, within your occupation, within your own morals, whatever it may be, then you can move up to the third part of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is to do with love and belonging needs. And again, now it's starting to change because it's not physical things anymore like food, water, house, shelter, resources. It's now something which you can't just get with money. It's a lot more of like an intrinsic thing. So love and belonging needs can be friends, family, romantic partners, all of that kind of platonic friendships, everything which is important in terms of our connections and relationships comes under love and belonging needs. Because it's so important, one, to feel connected and like we belong somewhere, we're part of an in-group, we're a member somewhere, to a section of communities so we don't feel alienated. But also love is so important because again, that gives us that element of that oxytocin, of feeling nurtured, of feeling cared for, feeling, you know, like we have a sense of worth. That's really important. Then the fourth one actually ties into the idea of worth, and it ties into the idea of our relationship with ourselves, and it's a lot more heightened on this one, which is esteem needs. So if you go to the one below it, if you've got secure attachments, you've got friends, you've got family that love you, you've got healthy attachment, then you move up to esteem needs. And this is where the focus is on you. This is what could potentially stop you from self-actualizing. And this is the idea of how confident and comfortable and secure do you now feel within yourself, in your abilities, in your resources, in your creativity. And of course, like, this sort of fits into the idea of the whole social hierarchy as well. So how well do you, one, respect others, but also to what extent do they respect you and look up to you? So that's a really important part, because if you notice, a lot of people that have it all, but they're stuck and they don't self-actualize, is because their insecurities stop them. They ultimately stop their self because of their low self-esteem, which stops them because then they have low agency. So they don't go out and do things, they don't push themselves. So someone might have like imposter syndrome, or a little voice that tells them that they're not worthy of achieving their dreams, or that they're not good enough, or that they can't do it, or think of 101 billion excuses to not achieve what they want to do. And that falls under the psychological needs of esteem needs, which is why they can't self-actualize and get to the top. But since the bottom two are more physical needs, they're not something that potentially a psychologist or somebody who can work with the inner workings of your mind can really help you with, because they're a lot more fundamental, basic, superficial needs in a way. The middle two ones are more psychological, and they're more ways that someone can talk you through and potentially help you with if you have potentially cognitive distortions or flawed ways of thinking which keep you stuck there. And that's what I want to help you overcome today, and that's what I want to help you reflect on and think about today, so that can ultimately help you progress to the next level of the hierarchy. So in terms of the love and belonging needs, somebody that might be stuck within this area, they'll struggle to be able to move up. And the way that you can really try and work on the relationships in your life can be to nurture the ones that you already have. And as well as that, whilst it's a really difficult thing because relationships are so multi-dynamic and so different from one person to another, it's hard to give a one-size-fits-all answer. And it's hard to give a solution that will be able to put a band-aid over it for everyone, because that just doesn't exist. But whilst it's very important to nurture the relationships that you have and still look out for new ones, it's difficult in the adult life to make new friendships and meet new people organically. I feel like nowadays, with everything being online and a lot of things being remote, it's harder than ever in some ways. But I think it's so important to feel connected to a wider group, whether that's, thinking of sporting interests that you have, or any hobby, or anything like that, where you're able to connect to a group that feels like a part of you, an extension of yourself, that you can feel really connected to. It could be a cultural group, it could be, again, to like a hobby, it could be sports, anything within that where you find a piece of yourself that you slot into, like a jigsaw. And that way you meet like-minded people, and it's a place to feel a sense of belonging. It's always quality over quantity when it comes to friends and close people in your circle, because it's so much more important to have people around you that are supportive, that are good people, whose goals potentially align with yours, whose morals align with yours, you have similar values, and you just have a good time, you feel like yourself. The most important thing is when you're hanging out with people, think to yourself, do I feel like I can entirely be myself and show my best side, my worst side, and they will still take me in every single day and love me regardless? Because if you're hanging out with people like that by choice and you don't feel like that, then you're not finding a sense of belonging there. It might just be a sign to yourself for you to reevaluate that aspect. So how do we overcome our esteem needs? This is the most important one for us to be able to progress and self-actualize. And this comes with time, it comes with practice, it comes with being patient on yourself, because you can't be hard on yourself. You've also got to have, like I said in the relationships one and the one below, you've just got to have supportive, loving people around you who will naturally drown out all the negative voices in your head, because you'll be so conditioned to all of their positive reinforcements, and that's the most important thing that you should focus on. One of the most toxic things now that we do naturally, all of us, is we compare ourselves to the lives of people online or to the looks of people online, and that is the thief of all happiness. Comparison is a thief of all happiness. So first and foremost, stop doing that. Literally, actively, like in your head, become aware of when you're doing it, when you're comparing yourself to somebody else's life or their looks or whatever it may be, their achievement, because you think that that takes away from yours, when it doesn't. It doesn't equate to yours at all. Also, with social media, oh my gosh, we are so primed to need external validation. A lot of us, why do we post these thirst traps? Why do we post everything we post online? In most cases, it's because we need external validation. But here's the secret. You don't. You actually don't need it. And it's such a difficult thing because it does make us feel great. but only temporarily. The thing that genuinely makes us feel good is when we actually feel validated by ourselves. External validation doesn't matter at all. It shouldn't matter at all what other people think about or what they care about us. What should matter at all is how we feel about ourselves. And that should only come from our character. If we're a good person, we've got good ethics, good morals. That's literally what matters. Because as soon as you're a good person, you'll radiate a good energy, you will do good for others, and then you'll naturally feel good about it. And that's what it is. It's a cycle of good. And that's what you've got to care about, not the cycle of external validation, which does nothing for you. It's shallow, it's superficial, and it will actually never make you feel properly happy, if you know what I mean. It's like a surface level happiness, and you're like, oh, that's a lovely compliment, but that's it. It will never be like a deep down happiness, which you get when you feel internally validated by being a good person. Here's another one in esteem needs. We feel good when we feel like we're good at something. So that might be a hobby, and I don't believe that no one has a hobby. Everyone has a hobby. Everyone has something that they like. It could be in terms of sports, it could be in the arts and the creative, it could be in writing, it could be in terms of the analytical, like mathsy kind of stuff. Whatever it is, everyone has a hobby. Some people are more practical and they might like cooking. Some people might like rock painting. Some people might like baking. Like literally whatever it is, it might be game developing. Whatever it is, you'll find a hobby that you're good at, that you must dedicate time to, because that makes you feel so good about yourself. When you do something, you spend time, you're enjoying it, you're enjoying yourself, and you're good at it, because naturally you'll be good at something that you like and you give time to and you practice. That's just the way it is, right? And that will make you feel amazing. Another thing which I've learned in recent years is such a big thing to help us increase our self-esteem, to feel better about ourselves, to feel more worthy, is the idea of detachment. And there might be detaching from negative self-talk, detaching from negative people, detaching from negative places, detaching from failures, and that being like a value of ourselves. It's so important to just be able to detach, and that comes with practice. It's such a difficult thing because I can easily tell you guys like, oh guys, just detach and you'll feel better, but it's definitely not that easy. And it comes with practice. And what detachment is it's a way that you face your fears. Because if you're attached to something, there is embedded like a secret thing that you're fearing, and as soon as you detach, you then face that fear. For example, you're very attached to person A. The reason you're attached to them is because the implicit fear is that without them, you will be alone and you will be lonely. That's your fear, which is why you attach. You have this behavior, this attachment. And the way that you then detach is by facing that fear. You have to reflect, okay, what is the underlying fear behind this attachment? Are we alone? Are we lonely? How do I get over this? How do I detach? I've got to face that fear. I've got to embrace that fear. That I might be alone, but that doesn't mean I'll be lonely. So, and even if I am, I will grow within that space of being alone. Do you see what I mean? You've got to embrace it and you've got to face it. And that's how you get over any fear, by facing it. And that's how you then detach from anything, by looking at the underlying behaviour behind that attachment. Why do we attach? I truly believe once you detach from negative things, it will set you free. Detach, and it will actually set you free. And just to add to that, it doesn't even have to be negative things you detach from, just generally having a detached perspective. And esteem, a lot of it comes with feeling secure in where you're at and with who you are. And I think a big part of that as well isn't just detaching from negative things, but just generally being detached and understanding that if something doesn't work out or it doesn't go in the way that you planned, it's actually for the best. You've got to be so secure in everything. Like, I'm so secure in the fact that that person didn't work out and that's okay. That thing didn't work out and I'm secure in that because I understand that it's okay. So feeling secure in yourself and your decisions in your life is a difficult thing to master, is a really difficult thing to slowly implement in like the little parts of what you do. But it's just the idea, like if you think of it like, if I'm not insecure, I'm secure. And if I'm secure, what's another word for that? I'm secure, I'm safe, I'm comfortable. And that's how you've got to think. I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable with where I am in life and in this space. And I just have to embrace that and not let it get clouded by any external negative thing or anything internal which could get in the way of that. Once you're at the top, that's when you're able to completely pursue self-growth and you're comfortable within yourself, with who you are as a person, with your morals, your values, with everything that's important to you. And as well as that, you kind of feel like your entire life has meaning, has purpose to it. You're creative in what you do, you're spontaneous in what you do, and everything in your life aligns with the way that you think in your head in the most positive way. Once you have self-actualized or you're in the process of it, you truly can achieve anything you want. You're like an unstoppable force. But let me know what you guys think. Of course, I'm no expert, but I just thought this was such an interesting topic to look into. And I think, you know, people that are interested in positive psychology, just like me, would also be interested in how to self-actualize and the ways in which we can get there. If anyone has any advice for other people, put it down in the comments below, or any advice for me, or if I've said something that you agree with, disagree with, want to comment on, or question, put it down below, because I'm super interested to see what you guys think. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. I know that when I talk, my points are a little bit all over the place because I don't structure it and I never script it. So it's just whatever I think of saying in the moment, whatever comes to my mind is just what I say, and that's just how it is. But I hope that you guys like it anyway or took something away from it, and I'll see you in my next video. Make sure that you subscribe.